All right. I know yesterday I said I would start streaming again right after I made some food and picked up Daniel, but I never did. And because I've been deep in thought since then, and I didn't really like how, our stuff turned out. Damn, that sucks. And I didn't like how this turned out. So I ended up scrapping the whole idea, and I'm trying to change where I'm headed for the IG plan. And then also I was gonna edit all of the old streams because 3 out of 6 of them I had to private because I revealed my address while I was purchasing something. I was gonna edit them, but I mean it's 9:43 p.m. now, and I spent the entire day sitting down at the desk, looking at my editing software, pretending I was going to edit them. When instead I was talking to ChatGPT about different ideas I was having, which helped me brainstorm, but I didn't actually get done what I planned to get done, and just added another barrier to entry to getting to actual work. So I decided I'm just gonna private them all because no one's gonna see them anyways. And if someone's actually interested and sees this way in the future when I actually make something out of this, if I actually make something out of YouTube, just comment. I'll have someone edit them and post them because I won't be doing it myself by then. So just thought, oh, let's go through these anyways, so you guys can see what's here in this stream. So very first one I did, made a logo for the agency in Higgsfield. Or it's done. And then I edited them, refined them, removed the background in Photopea. And as you can see over here, decided on brand identity, brand colors, brand fonts. Picked those 2 fonts because as you can see, the logo is inspired by LV. Even though I've never even owned anything, I just thought buy them. I just think that logo looks cool. It's like a fancy Times New Roman font. And their word mark looks really good. So that's the Futura font, which I copied. This font. And then I got this from Carzone, is the other font I use, which is the Wealthsimple font. All right, that's what I did there. First stream. The second one was actually a video. It was a stream, but it got taken down, so I had to repost it without the sound as a video because I started playing music. And in this one, it didn't actually start with me working on the logo. I had issues with my prepaid payments for the Wealthsimple and Wise, paying for softwares like ChatGPT and Google Workspace. So I was going back and forth emails with them. Was going to sign up with a Google partner, but then decided I'm just going to sign up for a traditional card. Then this is also when I made a word mark and made a lockup, and then I did the other colors. And then The last one I took down was this one, which is me starting on the website, setting up Figma, uh, Framer, HGL, everything else I used. I spent like 4,000 credits, which mostly got refunded because the output sucked. Trying to do these insane things with Framer, and it didn't work. So I kind of spent this 10 hours and achieved no result other than what I wanted. Like, other than having an idea for what I wanted the hero to look like. But yeah, did a whole lot of nothing here. Tried to make this mock-up and Framer, and it just kept failing over and over and over again. And I kept on wasting more and more credits and more money. Eventually got it done in the second one. You can see here. But yeah. Okay, after that, next thing I wanted to talk about was let's continue doing these. I'm getting the clips off my phone at the same time right now. All right, so I'm having a lot of talks with ChatGPT, as you can see here. Nope, 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 nope. That's this morning. What is this? Oh yeah, so this is earlier today when I was having doubts about where our first reel was headed, and the idea I had, because it was mainly S2000 clip driving, trying, and then cutting to me like I just have that S2000 clip as a hook, and me laying in bed trying to fall asleep. Then all the thoughts flood in, which was that mock-up that turned out trash, or that generation that turned out bad that I didn't like. And then cutting to me working at desk saying to ChatGPT, how can I show what it's like in my head, or something like that. And yeah, I was talking about it and how I can change it and having complaints and stuff like that. And then I asked how can I make it look better, more cinematic, and I was talking about color grading and sound effects and stuff. So then I started watching a lot of YouTube videos about that. I already knew about that. I just didn't want to go through all of that. And I was hoping AI would just have a done process for me, but looks like I will be having to go through an editing process to make the color grading and such as I want it. What else did I talk about here? All right, and then I was asking you about if I should still do the TikTok thing and stuff like that. We can move on. Content task list. Yeah, me just trying to clear up thoughts I had. Okay. Solve audio loss. Cinematic. Which one is this? Oh, this is from yesterday. Okay, so we'll get back to this in a sec. I was asking if I should even bother doing the TikTok thing. So that day in the life I filmed, I'm just not going to post on the TikTok. I'm just going to have TikTok be 30-second talking head things. Of me building the business. Keeping it simple. I'll include the day in the life I filmed already within the film day video, because I talked about it in the film day video. Just wondering if I should do my reels in 4:3 or 16:9. All right, and then I was talking to it about Ghostwriter, which is a AI operating system, and I was asking it about my reels, and then I was also asking different AI, my mentor AI, about how I should frame it, and it's what made me have the idea of switching it from being the more personal real one to having it more be structured towards pointing towards what I'm actually trying to serve and provide. So it provides more value instead of it just being like philosophical. So we switched it. Now, after the whole, I'm making the hook better. I learned instead of just the S2000 thing, I'm going to try and do something like this.
I want to show you guys. It's super simple. Play it again. So this,
because I love that metal riser sound effect. I actually have it bookmarked somewhere over here, and I've used it before for something else. And yeah, I like that idea, so I'm going to use that as my hook. The last one will be the S2000 hook, because we already made these, spent all that time making that S2000. We're still going to use it. But the other stuff could be some stuff from real life. And then we'll do the same sequence. Oh, waking up, trying to go to sleep. And then instead of all the thoughts flooding in as like this, it'll be more business oriented thoughts. Like I like how this one turned out. Except I want this to be happening over a black screen, not over some random AI generated dude lying there. And then we get up, come to desk, and then we talk to ChatGPT, and the sequence would go, which we talked about here. How do creators with real audiences make money? And then they ask usually, and then that's usually through sponsorships, affiliate links, and ad revenue. In other words, use their audience to sell someone else's product or service. And then I'd ask, why don't they just sell their own thing? They're the ones with audience and influence. And it says, because building an audience and building a business are different jobs. Their focus is creating content, turning that attention into a product, and handling the strategy, operations, systems, and fulfillment behind it requires an entirely different infrastructure. Then we do the cut to black, and then we have this show up. I'm probably going to remove it saying whitelist, so that I can have the 9 posts roll out while I'm still building the whitelist website, because I don't want to reveal the brand name before anything about the brand actually exists on the internet. Because I don't want to say whitelist in the first post and then someone looks it up and then there's no website, there's no social media, and there's just nothing there. So Probably gonna cut that part. I'll just recut to black and then saying partnering with creators to build businesses beyond influence. And then that's the plan for post one. Now as we're going through this, I'm gonna re-optimize and change a lot of these and ask Iman about how I should frame some of them while I get all these clips to come over from my phone. Oof. I'm probably gonna get copyrighted for that. What's this? Oh, that one's foolish. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, I was in Little Tokyo for a bit and filmed some clips. That was when I originally first planned doing all of this stuff. And I was going to start it with Day in the Life in Little Tokyo. Eventually, as you can see, I completely changed it. Yeah, I filmed everything Little Tokyo with just this stuff. Because didn't have anything, so bought an apple juice in the lobby and leaned that there. Leaned my phone on the apple juice for all of the clips in the garden. All right, as the reels are the main ones, I want to focus on how we are actually going to go through each reel. So reel 3 is pretty much going to stay mostly unchanged because the sequence for reel 3 was walking into the room in my outfit from church, saying I just got back from church, figured I'd film one more reel. And then it just has a lot of voiceover stuff of talking about how I originally wanted to be a creator, but then learned there's 2 ways to monetize. As a creator, you sell your own thing or you sell someone else's thing. And I realized I wanted to help people sell their own thing instead of having to rely on affiliate links and uncertain or shady sponsorships. And while that's happening, it's just a lot of B-roll of me setting up the camera and taking the profile pictures and whatever other pictures. It's kind of behind the scenes stuff from the other 9 posts. Write out that entire framework. I'm going to send it to Ask Iman. Let me see what he thinks. And then if we could get post 9, reel 3 out the way, then we'll go back to talking about post 4, reel 2. That downloaded over, that was fast. Normally ones over a minute take a while. Almost done getting all this B-roll. You're already down with this one. I filmed all this little Tokyo stuff in one day too. I really only spent 2 days filming, and I like have way too much content now that I want to edit and do, that I'm kind of just trashing a lot of it. I already did trash a lot of it, just deleting it for storage because I did too much. All right, before I send that over, I want you to make a prompt for that chat explaining to him that this chat is used for designing the first 9 posts that will be on the Instagram for the Miculus brand. All right, I sent both prompts over to Iman, and I sent you what he replied with. Keep in mind that right now he only knows about post 9 Real 3, so if he says something that the problem would have been solved in an earlier post that we just haven't explained to him yet, just ignore that portion, because we're going to try and send him all 3 real ideas, and then we're going to talk about the 6 other posts, and then the 9 overall framework. We'll talk about all that and make revisions to have it more founder and operator oriented instead of just like a personal archive. Because remember, this has to be more curated. I don't like this either. I already recorded the original voiceover, how I liked it, so we're probably going to keep the original voiceover. Remind me what the original voiceover was again. I remember kind of liking it. I mainly just want to know if he thinks this is a strong idea as one of the 9 posts, or if we should just completely change it like we did for Real 1. Man, I really like that window. I took so many pictures. All right, that's done. I think I went through mostly everything there. I could go check later if I don't. When did I record that? All right. Well, I'm all nice and dressed. All right. Now, this is the actual part I need to put into the frickin' reel. But the more I learned, the more I realized I didn't actually want to be the creator. No, fuck, this is an old one too. I also did freedom. I should need from here. I don't think that was it. It was probably slightly different. If anything, we could also always redo it with AI clone of my voice or something, so it also delivers it cleaner. But yeah, I did kind of like how we worded it and delivered it in whatever one I did record. I like the sell someone else's thing or sell your own thing. I like a lot of people my age, I thought becoming a creator was the only way to build something without working for someone else. It makes it sound more personal. The more I learned about how to monetize an audience, I realized you have two options. Like, I like that entire opening portion. Overall, what's a good refined version that you think would be good as both based off of both what I said and what Iman said and what we've talked about before? The partnering with creators to build businesses beyond influence, I think, is still something that would show up at the end of Reel 1. I liked the whole freedom thing, that idea we had for Reel 9. And then switching over to whitelist, saying, and then that's whitelist, or and that's whitelist. And then having the slogan beyond influence after as well. This guy forget to lock the door. Did you eat already? Did you eat already? Okay. All right, I like this. So we could consider real 9 and real 1 done. Should we discuss any of it with Iman, or you think we just got that good now and we can move on to real 2? Okay, remember our frameworks and sequences for both real 1 and real 3. Just in case, type them out as prompts that I'll send to separate new chats for the newer version of these posts. Fuck, I can't edit it. Okay, these are no good. Let's start with just post 1 real 1 first. And remember, all of these are horizontal shot reels that will be put in a vertical frame on Instagram. Or I'm actually thinking of making a reel 3 post 9 4x3 instead of 16x9, just for that one specifically, because there's a lot of actual footage and like portrait stuff. This is good. I made a new chat workspace for the newer version of this Real in Mind. And I already sent a prompt explaining it. Is there anything else you would like to add to it that we talked about in this chat? Such as the exact ChatGPT exchange, as that is not something that it has. And exact wording. It really likes as another discipline over this one. I did like this one. Not this one. There's the one up here. It is long. Mm. Okay. That's okay. Now write the prompt and sequence for post 9 reel 3 for me to send to chat for that, or workspace, since I'm actually doing it in ChatGPT work now instead of chat. I actually didn't mind the brand strategy information inside the prompt. But then again, it will be inside this project, the Microlist brand project, so it might not need it. The main issue with the first prompt is the sequence. So starting from sequence 1, I am not walking home from church. It should start with me opening the door to my room, walking through the doorframe in my church outfit, and then sitting at my desk. Then I say directly to the camera, just got back from the monastery. Figured while I'm already dressed, I'd shoot one more reel. Then I'd start the voiceover. I would like it if you could include the entire voiceover script inside the prompt. And while I'm doing that whole voiceover, B-roll footage is going of me setting up the tripod, doing the camera, taking the profile pictures, along with whatever other B-roll I have from behind the scenes of me making the first few reels. All right, this is good. I like this prompt. Overall, though, inside the section of the voiceover script that I listed above, do you think it's a good idea to slightly change it to? They may own the relationship with their audience, but someone else owns the offer, the infrastructure, the business behind it, and what is your income or something along that. I need to get more literate and know more words. Oh, there, I like that. that's what I meant. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm probably gonna use all of this video of me just yapping to clone an AI voice to actually deliver this better in these reels. Man, I was reading that. I don't like how it like switches. You know. That'll be fine. Let's see if OBS is picking it up. It's not. That's good. Please, I'm trying to click this. All right, let's. Now that we have Reel 1, Post 1, and Reel 3, Post 9 done, let's talk about Reel 2, Post 4. Life is a game. What was the sequence we had for that? Write a prompt explaining it to Iman so he could let us know what he thinks and how we could try and position it more as something that points towards whitelist instead of just being personal thought of how I realized nobody really cares what you do. There's one time we went to this taco truck thing. Not taco trucks. Food truck festival. There's one group selling. Lumpia. There was one chubby Filipino kid. I say kid, he was probably about my age. And the song was playing. And everyone thought it was the song playing, but it was just the instrumental background and the dude was singing. It sounded so good. Probably sounded better, to be honest. Just realized he also does not have real one, post one yet. So just write a prompt explaining that just so he knows, not because we are going to make any changes to it. Straight from the start.
Here we go again. While I passed on this beat, I made it to a jam. Everything I'm not, everything.
He responded with the following, and then said, I really like that idea. Do you think this fits as post 4, having the other 6 being 3 text carousels, 2 work environment ones, and 1 portrait? And while he's thinking, I wanted to send you what he said about life is a game. Reading what you said right now as I'm going through it, I kind of like the get the degree, get the job, earn more, look successful, repeat portion. It does risk sounding like familiar anti default path content, but the reason why that content works so well is because so many people are stuck in that path, don't like it, and want to get out of that path. But then again, it might also not apply to creators because they could have already escaped that path. So, with everything we talked about in mind for Reel 2 Post 4, what do you think a good shot sequence would be for this reel from start to finish, as well as the voiceover script and what shots we would make, what shots we need to film, what we should generate, and such? Like he mentioned, game character screen or something as the opening, and I thought, huh, that's a good idea. Higgsfield has something exactly like that that you could straight up make really easily because it's a preset. It's already 11 now. I'm not even tired yet. I think my issue was that when I first made these ideas, they were too philosophical sounding and directed towards like classmates I used to go to high school with. Because they're really the only people that follow me. And I was kind of, as I'm thinking about what I would post, was directing it towards them instead of actual creators. Because like most people that post on the internet don't care. They already don't care what other people think. So why do I need to make a philosophical reel talking about how life is a game, comparing it to game elements to try and explain to people, to them, to creators, that nobody cares what they do, so they should pursue what they want. But they're already doing that because they're creators, and they're my target audience should be, not my classmates from high school. That was a mistake I made when I was originally making these reels. I was trying to explain myself to them instead of actually doing what pushes the business forward. Jeez. I want you to keep in mind that it's pretty hard for me to film more. So most of it, if possible, would just be grabbed off YouTube, previous B-roll, or generated with Higgsfield. And keep in mind the cinematic elements I want to use in the reel. So, for example, inside the first reel, we used the cinematic hook idea. And in reel 3, we did film borders with that 4x3 film border. And the behind the scenes type thing. For reel 2, the cinematic elements I want to use is the game thing and game elements, word place and storytelling, and rule of thirds. So maybe we could have like some cool text show up on screen. And then I wanted to use video stacking. So yes, we have one 16:9 clip in the middle, but we could also put another 16:9 clip on top and another 16 by 9 clip at the bottom. So in some cases, we could have 3 shots showing at once. And before, for the Life is Game idea, that would have been when I'm comparing paths to like things in games. Then I would have a shot of one game above, one game of one shot below, and then the comparison to real life in the middle. But because we're kind of drifting more away from like the literal life is like a video game type of thing, it'll be harder to display that. So keep that in mind. I want to have some wordplay elements having some text on screen as well as just my voiceover, but also having some nice typography on the screen. Storytelling element to it. Video stacking. And cinematic Higgsfield stuff. And I guess some B-roll of me. Only B-roll of me that I really have though is from the Little Tokyo Garden. The hotel room. Monastery. And in cars. If I do even go out, it's just to film more, it'll just be to the monastery or the grocery store or to driving out to school. Because that's the only time I really leave the house. Church or groceries. Or to drive someone somewhere. Damn it. You know, yeah. Okay, so I'm not gonna edit the streams anymore, so I have that done. I'm just gonna throw up the post of the video of my biggest hurdle thing and the room tour thing. And then tomorrow I'll get straight to doing post 1. All right, and I need to edit the TikTok stuff off my phone and actually start posting. My goal right now is to post 1 TikTok. 1, 7, 10, 26 days, 25 days. I have 25 days until my birthday. Oh, and I want to have this done before then. We don't need to completely scrap that. Like in Higgsfield, we could still generate clips of anything. Like when I was reading it originally and I read City Walk, I imagined generating a clip of myself walking through a busy road in the middle of traffic. Because it's something out of the ordinary. Are we sure with this voiceover? It still seems kind of like uh I don't know, not really serving a purpose. How can we make it more like the other two reels and actually answering a question? Okay, I am actually starting to get tired now. Let's finish the reel 2 plan tomorrow. Edit TikTok, start posting on TikTok. And then finish post 1 and work on website. After I start the TikTok. I don't even know, like I don't even have it that shit downloaded. I mean I downloaded it, but I haven't even opened it or signed in. I don't even know if fuck. Whatever. Alright, now that we have the 9 posts planned, let's go back to talking about what we're doing for Reel 2 Post 4. I do like the idea you gave and the direction this is heading, but do you think this really solves a question and pushes someone towards whitelist partnership? I've edited the prompt a bit. Let me know what you. I mean, I edited the script a bit. Let me know what you think. And how else would you make it more? Driven towards serving the business. Mm-hmm. 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 How would you open this again? Almost slipped. Mm, 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 mm. Wait, so help me clarify something. What is this reel doing again if I were a creator? Okay, and does this really deserve one of my 3 reels that a creator would see after I message them? I don't like where this is going. I kind of liked my philosophical life is a game idea. I already like had it planned out in my head too, but doesn't really match my target audience. It just matches my current audience. I sent Iman one of our previous updated prompts. I'll send you what he said. I'm not sure about Realty right now. Right now, I'm thinking maybe we should scrap the whole game idea. Although I do like it, I don't really know how this is providing anything valuable to the creator that sees this reel. and asks himself if he should partner with Whitelist. Why did it say SVG at the end? And I'm tired and hungry. I haven't been doing this long since I started so late. Since I spent most of it thinking about nonsense. I sent the 3 real framework you mentioned to Iman, and here's what he said. Man, I forgot what it was. There's the 3-step framework when you're trying to sell something. First one is talking about the problem. Third one is the solution. So the gap, the operator, the diagnostics. Kind of sounds like it, but I don't know if that was right. And it has something to do with the old UVC framework, unique value zone framework. But I think I deleted that, didn't I? Mm. Is there really a scoreboard though? I didn't think creators cared about. Do they actually care about that stuff that much? Like, I genuinely don't care if 0 people are watching this in 20 years. I just want this, what I'm working on, to become something real. Oh. What the fuck? Wait, where? What? I'm getting confused about what I talked about with who. Wait, this one sounds good. I was talking to Iman about how when you're selling something, you want to show a 3-step framework and how we can make this 3-step framework be our 3 reels. Let me know what you think. The 3-step framework is problem, what is broken or incomplete, mechanism or opportunity, why does this problem exist, and what your new way of thinking solves it, and then the solution or vehicle. I think our reels 1 and 3 kind of fit problems 1 and 3 for the sales thing. This is what he said about 2. Dang it, I copied SVG again. Too many chairs. Yes, I like this. I did kind of like having this part though. Honestly, I wanted to tell me the old one was better. But let's see. I don't like any of these as much as Reel 1 or Reel 3 yet, though. I sent that current script to Iman. Here's what he said. I don't really know how I feel about it still. I'm still trying to think of ideas. Let me brainstorm ideas on how we want Real 2 to be. I'm thinking what we have right now seems too different from what Real 1 and Real 3 do. I'm kind of just making them talk back and forth now and brainstorm. Help me brainstorm. I'm gonna send this to. Yeah, I do not like that idea. Uh, hmm. This is better, but I still think it's meh. I didn't really like any of those either. Still kind of lost on what I should do for Real 2. What makes Real 1 so good and Real 3 so good is that it starts with something personal. Then it goes into investigation or reflection, which then leads to a discovery. And I don't know how Real 2 could do that. Connecting something personal to something that relates to a creator. And then also connects to the business. But that's what we want. We need to somehow find something that connects those three. And then also, you need to keep in mind that when I do make Real 2, that I want to use mostly like the B-roll shots from the garden in Little Tokyo and AI generated stuff that we can simply make with Higgsfield, as I don't really know what I'd put. That's why I really like the I used to think everyone was watching the choices I was making. Then I realized most people are too busy playing their own game to notice yours. Because that was a genuinely personal type of thing that people would relate to. As well as I liked the idea that we had for the Higgsfield walking down the middle of the street with cars driving by in both lanes. Maybe I'll get an idea. Wait, that's a good one. That's a good one. I learned I I liked that voiceover concept. It does need some refining though. I'm gonna send that voiceover to Iman, see what he thinks. Reading the visual direction. I like the opening. I like the reflection. I think the typography could be better though. Like, what is attention? Overall, I like the direction this is heading. Let's try and refine this idea. This is good because this is exactly why I watch people. I'm either trying to learn a skill, understand a problem. Damn. That's it. I'm awake now. Mm, 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 mm. But it's 12 a.m. or it's entertainment, but on the business side of social media, you barely see any of that. I think the only person I even get on my feed that is like entertainment instead of business is that one Korean guy that does those skits with himself and talks to Jesus. They're funny. Don't even know his name though. here were my thoughts as I was reading it. So one, the personal opening, good. Let's lock that. Two, reflection. For the garden clips, I only really have 3 clips, and they're all vertical. So the 3 vertical ones would go side by side, making one horizontal one in the middle. One of them is walking by a pond. One's walking over a bridge. The last one is walking past a waterfall. But I'm thinking we use that for something else. So maybe we have reflection being sitting at the desk, writing in the notebook. And then 3, the creator connection, learn, solve, become. It was kind of confusing this part because you're missing the voiceover that's supposed to be there. And the typography, learn, solve, become. Would be over 3 distinct clips. So the top one could be learning or practicing a skill. So that would be like watching a YouTube video. On how to edit cinematic reels. The middle would be actually editing that reel. And then the bottom one, become. Could be the hero of this reel again, because it would be showing the process of making the reel. So the become portion would be the opening of the reel with the hero walking calmly down the middle of a busy road. But you also need to add what the voiceover is supposed to be there, because at the same time, it's supposed to be saying when people keep returning to a creator, it usually because the content is helping them do something. Learn a skill, solve a problem, or see a version of themselves they want to become. I'm thinking we have solve at the bottom and become in the middle. Just so it's, stronger. So we show the top first, then we show the bottom, then we show the middle. And then 4. I like the idea with the attention is a signal. But what's showing up on screen? Like just a typography over a black screen? Or should we have like some B-roll there? Be more descriptive. of what the B-roll should be there. If we should like generate some nice mountain view or something. Or maybe like a carrier owl being or no, a dove carrying a branch, an olive branch. Like in the Bible and the signal that is land after Noah's Ark. So when it says attention is a signal, and have the typography show up, we could have a dove. Handing a person an olive branch. Yeah, I like that idea. We just need to somehow generate that. Then hidden inside it is a transformation the audience already wants. The typography changes. Current state, desired state. So we could have a clip at the top and a clip at the bottom, and in the middle have the typography, current state, arrow, desired state. Be more descriptive of what you mean here. I do like the idea of current state / desired state, but we also need to have the B-roll. And then for the B-roll, I don't know what it would be. My first thought was like current state is a creator in their current situation doing like an awkward sponsorship break in the middle of something important. And then the desired state being like when I help them and create a business around them. And they have money coming in monthly. And they're getting thank you messages from their audience for personally helping them. Now going down to 5, mechanism, the path between. This is where I think we could have those 3 little Tokyo garden clips. The opportunity is to understand where they are and where they want to go, and what keeps standing in the way, and then build a path between the two. As I say that voiceover, then we can have the B-roll of me walking that path, going over the bridge in the middle. And we just have that instead of the 3 stacked things again, since we would have used it a lot by that point already. Unless you have a good idea of B-roll or something we could generate for that shows where they are, what stands in the way, and where they want to go. And then for 6, I think you just cut that completely. I don't even know what I'd show there. And there's no voiceover happening over that portion, I believe. And then 7, resolution. That is when attention becomes more than content people consume. It becomes a product that helps people move forward. describe what type of B-roll or whatever should be here, because right now we just have content arrow, transformation arrow, product, and I don't really understand what's going on or what we should even put there. And then the end over the strongest quiet working shot. Content earns the attention. The business is built around the transformation. Also help me try and understand what's going on there as well for in terms of B-roll and such. From the little Tokyo clips, the other strong shots I have from other than just the stuff in the garden is one of me walking up to a very wide window and drinking a drink as sunrise is coming up. And then I have one of me sitting at my desk working. With Purple Hour in the background. But remember, all of these clips that were filmed in Little Tokyo were filmed horizontally, so unless we make 7 and the ending horizontal clip suddenly, don't really know what we're gonna do there, or we just try and generate a horizontal version, or sorry, a vertical version. But yeah, maybe we have 7 be the Purple Hour working at the desk, and then the ending being me drinking my drink over the window. I would like you, while using everything I said, create a super descriptive plan / prompt we will send to a chat for when we work on this reel. Make sure it includes everything that it would need to know for this reel, including all of the shots, being descriptive about what each shot is, all of the B-roll, all of the generated content, and all of the different voiceovers and when it would be said within each shot / sequence. Geez, I have a day of school tomorrow too. I need to sleep, otherwise I won't be able to drive. And I need to eat. I think I'm under my calories. What did I even eat today? I was gonna make pasta when Neon got back, but he got back so late and he already ate. I just had 12 chicken wings, sausage and egg McMuffin, 2 hash browns, and an iced tea. And I did grocery shopping. I got stuff to make a meatball fettuccine alfredo. But this guy went out to eat. So what should I eat? It's already Friday too, so it's fasting. I guess I'll have 6 eggs, egg wrap. I'll talk to chat about what my calorie intake is today. And then fill the rest of the calories I need to take with scrambled eggs. Yeah. Fuck, I made a mistake. They're not horizontal, they're vertical. Ooh, I don't want to make you redo all this. You know, this zooming out thing would be like the GTA zooming out thing. Because essentially it's like a game. It sounds like this is gonna be like the most complicated one out of the three to make. Oh, fuck. What am I doing? I'm giving myself more work again. What am I doing? Uh, I mean, it's good. This is so good. So much better. This is really good. I want you to keep how the prompt is framed and all the details and everything you have. It's very good. If you really want anything changed, there are just a few things, few mistakes that I feel like should be mentioned. The first one is that all of the little Tokyo clips, the ones at the garden, the ones at the hotel, all of those are all vertical, not horizontal. That is including the walking toward the window and the working during purple hour. Those are also vertical, so they will need to artificially be converted into vertical footage if we want them to be vertical. I mean, sorry, they would. Horizontal footage if they would look better horizontal. For sequence 4, the typography there. I think we should have what is attention at the top and then a signal at the bottom as we have blank space at the top and the bottom of the screen. We shouldn't include any typography saying not the destination. for the two horizontal clips in sequence 5, one at the top, one at the bottom, we could have them be a little bit bigger because the bottom one would be covered by Instagram UI. So we could have both of them be a little bigger because the text that needs to be in the middle doesn't really need that much space. And then also because we already used the editing thing before, I'm thinking we could use something more relatable to viewer. Like, I don't know. Workout or guitar, learning guitar. I don't know, something more usual because the editing one was more personal already. So let's try and make it something different. For sequence 6, I think the visual emphasis stuff mentioned will just end up as visual clutter, and I think it would be cleaner just having the clips nicely color graded. We wouldn't need any typography either there. Now sequence 7. This is when attention becomes more than content people consume. It becomes a product that helps them move forward. The primary visual is a vertical clip, 9:16 recording. So should we keep it as a 9:16 recording or do something about that? Yeah, overall, I like it. It's really good. Just make the slight edits to the prompt that I mentioned. And I like the use of the real life little Tokyo clips towards the end. Yeah. This is so good. But I could already foresee all the work this is gonna be. Oh, oh, why did I do this? Fuck. Okay. After this sends out the prompt. I'm just gonna send it to the chat. New chat. And then get off the computer. Eat, go to bed. Tomorrow when I get back. YouTube video posts. Yeah, I thought so too. Oh fuck. Ugh. Okay, when I get back tomorrow, if my mind is wandering and not really that focused, just post the YouTube videos, edit the TikToks, you post 30-second TikToks, and then yeah, it's whatever. I am more focused, then I could plan out the other 6 posts. And then I gotta start working on these posts. And then once all the posts are done, I have the 9 days to roll them out and the extra days to finish the website before post 9. And then once everything's posted, I'll make the film day YouTube video and be done with creating content for a while outside of, I guess, the 30-second TikTok clips where I'll just update the fun stuff like finding your ICP and outreach. And actually building the products. This is fun too, like coming up with the ideas for the content, but it's not as fun when you realize how much work it is editing this stuff. It's not like I didn't want to become a content creator. I just don't like the process of editing it all. It takes forever. It takes forever to have the idea you have in your mind become real. Like, look how long it took just to Freaking write it all out. Ah, shit. It didn't. Oh. Oh. Lord Jesus Christ, mercy on me. I'm ready to go. Leave. Jeez. This one's oh fuck. Didn't mean it to have. Oh, God. Okay, I'm done.